Welcome everybody to a look at a brand new 4K Steelbook release, and it is 1999's Galaxy Quest. So this is directed by Dean Parisot, uh, who I've only seen one other film from, in fact, which is a remake of Fun with Dick and Jane, with Jim Carrey and Tia Leone. But yeah, this is a satirical science fiction comedy, clocking in at 102 minutes long. Had a budget of around $45 million, which is obviously quite a lot for a comedy, even a sci-fi one. But it had a box office return of about 90.7 million, so it was a reasonable success. And it stars the likes of Tim Allen, who I've only really seen in the Toy Story series, but he was also in the film The Santa Claus. It also stars Sigourney Weaver, who's been in 14 other films, most well known obviously for her series, the Alien series, but the best of those four would be the first two, Alien and Aliens, but she's also in Ghostbusters and the really rather highly underrated Copycat. Also stars Alan Rickman, who was in the likes of Die Hard, Quigley Down Under, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and Eye in the Sky. And you've also got Tony Shalhoub, who was in the likes of Men in Black, 1408, 13 Ghosts, and Big Night. And finally, got supporting roles from Sam Rockwell, Justin Long, and Enrico Colantoni even. So yeah, for 4 years, the courageous crew of the NSEA Protector, Commander Peter Quincy Target, Lieutenant Tony Madison, and Dr. Lazarus set off on a thrilling and often dangerous mission in space. And then their series was cancelled. So now, 20 years later, aliens under attack have mistaken the Galaxy Quest television transmissions for historical documents and beam up with the crew and the crew of has-been actors to save the universe. With no script, no director, and no clue, the actors must turn in the performances of their lives. So, yeah, this shows how satire films should be done, quite frankly, in that it has a plot that is entertaining in its own right, and which then goes about it, surrounding it with a script that is funny and parodies other films and TV shows, namely the Star Trek series, in a manner that is neither vindictive towards what it is parodying or insults the viewer. And that's done so well that, in fact, a lot of Star Trek fans consider this to be one of the best Star Trek films, even though it's not actually a Star Trek film, but it's highly regarded amongst that fan base, which I'm a fan of the Star Trek films, but I'm not a hardcore fan. I haven't seen the entirety of the Next Generation TV series, for instance. I've not seen the original TV series at all, and neither have I seen any of the subsequent ones after that. But I'm still a fan of the films for the most part. So, yeah, and even I can see that why this is so highly regarded amongst Star Trek fans, because yes, it's parodying it, but it's also doing it in a way that is loving, which is kind of hard to do, but I think this mostly pulls that off. The cast is also great. The special effects still hold up. It's comparable to the Star Trek films of the day with Patrick Stewart. I love the mannerisms of the Thermians, which are the aliens that contact our TV stars. It is funny throughout. The action is solid. The pacing is on point. It is engrossing, and I really rather like the score. So, yeah, overall, one of the best parody films out there, as far as I'm concerned. 4.5 out of 5, and yeah, it looks great on this 4K. I actually got the privilege of actually seeing this film on the big screen for its 25th anniversary, which is obviously this year. And yeah, get it on 4K and Blu-ray in this steelbook. They are not the Fermions, by the way, but they are a bunch of aliens that do get our crew into some mischief. And yeah, I like the steelbook. It's really nicely printed. It is obviously based on the film poster that was originally released, and then we have the entirety of the cast on the back there. So yeah, on the actual disc itself, in terms of special features, it says there's only one new special feature here, but obviously I've never had this film on Blu-ray before, so all of these features are new to me, so I'm going to read them all out regardless. So the new one is the film focus with the director himself. Then you've also got historical documents, the story of Galaxy Quest, Never Give Up, Never Surrender, the intrepid crew of the NSCA Protector. Then you got Biograph Files Hammer, What Amazing Effects. Then Alien School, Creating the Fermian Race, Actors in Space, Sigourney Weaver Raps, and then Deleted Scenes. So, yeah, I've not gone through any of these special features, but they do seem like a fairly comprehensive one there, and I imagine you know, there's a good hour, maybe an hour and a half worth of extras there. So yeah, on the whole, a really excellent film and a fantastic looking steelbook and really rather good 4K transfer and sound quality on top of all of that as well. So yeah, highly recommend getting this release. To be honest, I'm not sure. Oh, it's Paramount that have done this. Yeah. I've heard some dodgy things from Paramount in the past in regarding their 4K efforts, but personally, I didn't see any major issues with this. But again, I'm not in the know when it comes to 4K transfers and stuff like that. I do, with my vision, for instance, do struggle to see the most amount of detail in a picture or anything like that. But I can see if a film looks too dark or too light or anything like that, and I didn't have any issues with that. And then the sound quality, I do have a good sound quality sound bar, and again, no issues with that at all either. So yeah, if there are any issues with it or anything like that, or anything AI work that's gone into this, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm reviewing the film and the physical aspects as well as in a bit more manner than the actual 4K itself. So yeah, but if there are any issues, I'd like to hear about them so I can watch it again and then see whether or not I'm able to pick up on them. But regardless, yeah, it's a fantastic film in its own right, and I really like the look of the steelbook on top of that. So yeah, but if you have seen this film before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. Nonetheless, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.